Performing missionaries, we're called on a mission to perform for about 3.5 months. And how many of you have seen the show High Hopes and Riverboats? Just a few. Yeah. Now, this is about half of our cast. The other half is off performing in Just Plain Anna Amanda. But the show High Hopes and Riverboats, it has all of the cast. It's at 2:30 and 4:30, and we'd love to see all of you there. Now, the reason we're here is we have some stories that we'd like to tell you about the youth in Nauvoo. And I brought some of my fellow young performing missionaries here. My name's Elder Gardner. I play the character Benjamin Forbes. My friends call me Chance. And I brought some fellow young performing missionaries to help us out. So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Elder Slater.
I'm Elder Leach.
I'm Elder Davies.
Sister Jackson. Sister Hepton.
Now, at the time of these stories, some of these youth were just 12, 14, and 18 years old.
I'll be Robert Scott.
And I'll be George Buchanan.
I'll be Eli Bailey.
I'll be Mary. And Caroline Rollins.
Okay, now you know your places?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. All right, now imagine on these streets, instead of cars, you see horses and buggies. When you want to go somewhere, you have to get on a boat. When you want to talk to a friend, you have to write them a letter or walk a few miles to their home. And today we look across this dusty street and we see George Q. Cannon. Hello, George!
Oh, hey, Brother Forbes!
Now that's the George Q. Cannon who later became an apostle. And with him is Eli Bailey and Robert Scott. Hello, Robert!
Hello, Brother Forbes.
Come on over, boys! Now you can see just leaving the printing office is Mary Elizabeth and Caroline Rollins. Robert, would you mind escorting the Rollins sisters across the street?
I'd be happy to, Brother Forbes.
Now these are some really brave young women you're about to meet. Isn't that right, George?
Sure. And that Mary, she's pretty. Pretty brave.
Sure she is, George. Just like you are. You and all the boys.
Well, we're just doing our jobs.
Well, tell us about it.
We whittle.
That's our job, and we don't even get paid for it.
Well, Eli, it's not exactly our job.
It's what the prophet asked us to do.
Eli, what if... Do you know these people?
Oh, it's okay, boys. They're all with me. Go ahead and tell us.
Well, with the Nauvoo Legion gone, we were assigned to keep an eye out for any mean-spirited strangers and follow them around till they left town.
Let's show them how we do it.
Okay. Well, we whittle and whistle.
Why don't you show them?
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hi, George.
And Caroline.
Thanks, Eli.
Whistling is what makes all the difference.
Combined with the whittling. You see, seeing a young boy with a big old Bowie knife
Cheerfully whistling the hymns of Zion.
tends to make people a little uncomfortable.
A little?
Why don't you just show them, George? You two boys.
I mostly whittle.
Why is that?
But he whittles very well.
It's more than that. See, every single day, people come off the riverboats here.
Sometimes hundreds of them.
And, well, if we meet people like you,
Who seem so nice.
That's right. Nice, fine, upstanding citizens like you, we'd simply smile, nod our heads, and say good day, and let you go on about your business.
There were mean ones as well.
How about you, Chance? You mind helping us
Well,
out?
I'd be happy to. I've met plenty of such characters.
Great, just stand right there.
Do you think you could look a little meaner?
Yeah.
Well, almost.
good enough.
Yeah, good enough. So if a guy like this gets off the riverboat, making threats against us and scaring the little ones.
Then we escort him, like this.
Ready, boys?
Ready.
Now, excuse me, boys. What do you think you're doing? These are dangerous times. Up with you now. Battle!
Until they followed those shady characters right back onto the boat they just left.
Isn't that amazing? How about a big hand for this?
Thank you. We appreciate that, folks, but Chance.
I know, Robert. These boys don't do it for a pat on the back.
No, sir.
We're not afraid to stand up for what's right, just like the prophet Joseph.
Even when you're outnumbered.
Just like you were in Missouri when you saved the scriptures.
That's right. These were the pages of the Doctrine and Covenants.
We only did that because there was no one else to do it.
Hardly. You see, people don't risk their lives. People don't become heroes just because there's no one else around. Robert, you know this story.
Sure. See, back in Independence, Missouri, we were persecuted, just like here.
And some of the revelations that the prophet Joseph Smith received from the Lord were written down and sent to the printers.
And a mob, a band of the meanest, nastiest people you've ever met, broke into the printing office.
We watched as they broke the windows and the presses, throwing all of God's pages out the window
Into the mud and trampled.
and carried them on.
We couldn't let them do that.
So these girls
Oh, brave girls.
scooped the scattered pages from off the street.
Quick, Carolyn, we have to save the pages. Grab as many as you can. Come on.
Get those girls! Where they go? Follow them!
Cornfield.
They're going to the cornfield! Follow them!
Trick over
We
there!
threw ourselves down onto the ground and prayed with all of our might.
We watched as they went up and down the cornfields, cursing and swearing.
And we lay as still as we could, hardly breathing. One time they were standing almost right on top of us.
But they didn't see you.
No, the Lord blinded their eyes.
And you weren't afraid?
Well, yes, of course we were. But we knew that Heavenly Father would protect us.
You see,
Yep.
you see, for youth in Nauvoo, it wasn't just about being brave. It was about having faith.
Faith that the Lord will watch over us in times of danger.
And faith to face things even harder than that. You see, youth in Nauvoo had very many hard things to face. For instance, many people died in Nauvoo. Many youth lost a brother or sister or parent in death.
That's what happened to George.
Yes, George, will you tell us about it?
Well, my family joined the church in England, and the Lord wanted all converts to join the rest of the saints in America. My father, he was always close to the Lord, and earlier in his life he had a dream that was very, very real. And in that dream, he saw my mother die, so he didn't want to come.
But your mother,
That's right. She knew that the church was true, and she wanted us kids to grow up with other Latter-day Saint youth. So she would tell my dad that every single day. I think that she knew that if we didn't come while she was alive, my father would never want to come.
But your family, they sailed here to America.
Yes, because of her faith.
and yours.
Even though we did lose my mother, she died and we had to bury her at sea. We believe we'll be able to see her again. Actually, we know we will because of the temple.
And you will. Of course, these are just a few of the stories that we could tell you about the youth in Nauvoo. In fact, one
If you'll
time...
excuse me, Chance. George, Eli, I think I see a man over there who needs to see us do a little whittling.
And whistling.
That's right, George. Ready, boys?
Ready.
1, 2, 3, pucker.
We better be going to. Thank you, Brother Ford.
Well, don't let us keep you.
Thank you.
How about another big hand of applause for us?